here that Paul uses the same word to beseech people, his listeners, his readers, to give their lives, their bodies as living sacrifices. Okay, so he calls them alongside. What's the particular mood there?
Active.
It's a participle.
Oh, it's participle. Calling.
Oh, the mood here, if you look back on your key.
Participle.
Parakalo.
Participle.
VP. Did I do it wrong on my answer key here? Okay, now notice the order on your chart. It's different from the one in the Analytical Greek New Testament. Okay?
There is participle.
No? Notice the first thing on your key there is the tense.
So it's present,
Present.
active, indicative.
Present. Okay? It's active. Okay? It's indicative. And it's in the first person singular. Okay? And you just follow that chart. It is different, so don't get trapped in the Analytical Greek New Testament key and then translate it over to this one, because you'll be really messed up. Okay, so what do we gain from that understanding? It's present. What does that mean?
So I now beseech you,
Yeah.
beseech you now.
Matter of fact, I think the King James Version actually says that. I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God. But the now is implied. Okay? Now, I'm doing it now. Active.
Paul was the one doing it.
I am beseeching you. I'm doing the beseeching. Okay? Indicative, what does that tell us?
It's
Mood of
statement
reality.
of fact, right?
Yeah. Fact. First person. Yep. Singular. So we really don't learn anything about this one that's really earth-shattering except the definition of the word. It's interesting. Parakalo. To call alongside. Okay. What about the next one? What's the next verb there? Next one.
Parastesi.
Yep. Parastesi. What's that word mean?
2%.
Okay. Present.
Is it 2%? Is it a definitive?
Let's see.
It is.
It says 2% under the thing.
Yeah. It's 2%. Yeah, you can look on your little screenshot there and see. They've already done the work for us, but first we have to identify what the tense is. What's the tense?
Aorist.
The aorist. Okay, it's in the aorist tense. What about the voice?
Active.
Active. What about the mood?
It's an infinitive.
Infinitive.
10%.
Okay. And what's the next one? Person.
Well, it's infinitive, so it applies
Good.
to any and all.
Oh, it's, yeah, indiscriminately. So there is no person. Number. NA. Because again, it applies without discrimination. Okay. So what do we learn from this? How is the believer to present their bodies a living sacrifice? In what way? Okay, we have the aorist, which is punctiliar, with possible continued action. How's that to be understood in conjunction with our presenting our bodies? How do we make sense of it? Does the aorist tense really tell us anything?
It becomes an act that will be followed through.
It seems
Okay.
to suggest that it's not a daily thing. If it happened once and continues forward, you present, and therefore you are presented now,
Yes,
and continue to be so.
yes. Punctiliar action, continued results, yeah. Yeah, if you look back at the aorist tense definition there, the aorist is said to be simple occurrence or summary occurrence without regard to the amount of time taken to accomplish the action. This tense is often referred to as the punctiliar tense. Punctiliar in this sense means it's viewed as a single collective whole, one point in time action, although it may actually take place over a period of time. In the indicative mood, the aorist tense denotes action that occurred in past time, often translated like the English simple past tense. So, just like we said, this is something that's done point in time, but there's no relation to how long this would take. Indicating what? That it's an ongoing thing. Could be an ongoing thing. Now, judging from the language there, when we present our bodies as living sacrifices, how long are you living?
Till you die.
Till you die. How long should you be presenting your bodies as living sacrifices? Till you die. In other words, this is also something that shows us that although it is a punctiliar action, at one point in time we did say, okay, Lord, I am yours. That's laying your body down as a sacrifice. But it doesn't end there. Yeah.
Well, this is Paul beseeching them
Yes.
to present their bodies. Is there a suggestion that he has evidence that they have not yet? Or and so at this point they should? Or it's just like as if they hadn't yet, but from this point on?
Both. I would say both.
That aorist tense makes me think that it kind of sounds like present your bodies as a living sacrifice and then be that living sacrifice.
Exactly.
Well, because they were having the division between the the Jewish believers and the Gentile. You did
Yep.
12 or 11 chapters explaining
Right.
is really important. So from this
Right.
point on, you guys present yourselves as living sacrifices.
Yep. Yep. I would say it's the same way as we today need to be reminded every Lord's Day that there are deficiencies in our walks. And for me to stand up there and preach, for example, like Ken's been preaching on Romans 12:1 and 2, he beseeched every one of us to present our bodies as living sacrifices. Now you could very well say, I've already done that. Right? And that may be true. But two other things are true. Are you continuing to do that as long as you live, which captures the aorist tense of the verb? And are you someone out here